Hello! Welcome to the stream! Sorry about the technical difficulties. I think it was an OBS problem. OBS just didn't want to send any video data, I guess. Maybe it was my internet? I don't know. I just rebooted the machine. Everything's working now. Hello! Welcome to the Saturday Tech Ambrosia stream. I hope you've had a good week. We had a fun week this week, because yesterday was Friday the 13th. I hope everyone was out there being villainous. That's going to be our nice spooky day until the end of October. Looking forward to that one. That's like my year-long holiday is like waiting for Halloween. Like that's my Christmas is Halloween. Anyway, the year is like 3/4 of the way done. We're in the 9th month of the year. How did it happen? How did the year go by this fast? I was just noting as I was putting on my makeup to look lovely on stream. I'm like, oh wow, I need to like dye my hair. I'm starting to get gray. And then I realized that my ponytail is a time capsule for the last few years of my life, and I am so much grayer than I thought I was. Holy cow! I mean, you know, I'll dye this purple because it's who I am, but, you know, I guess I have to dye my hair now. Yikes. Welcome to 40. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's had a wonderful week. Let's say hi to folks in chat. Who have we got here? We have got, Raptor Engine is here. Hello, welcome to the stream. Also Jack68K is here. Hello, welcome back. Yinze is here and says, oh, what's this? Bulldozer brings back some old, long-settled rivalries between my friends. Yeah, relationships were lost over Bulldozer. Raptor Engine asks, Win XP or Win 7? Neither. We're gonna do Windows 10. We're looking at it running modern games. Today, in 2024. How is this thing doing? Is it as bad as we think it will be? Carjon One Plus is here. Hello, welcome to the stream. Bruce Lee is here. Says hello. Who else do we have? BPS Car Audio is here. Hello, good afternoon. How is it going? Jack68K says, OMG, there's a dustbuster on your desk. Yes. So, this was an impulse buy. A lot of things I buy are impulse buys, but this is really an impulse buy. Like, I don't need a dustbuster. But it was on eBay, and I was like, I kind of gotta, you know? Like, it's in pretty good shape. It's a little yellow, but, like, a lot of these are, like, this part's really yellow. And the best part, by the way, the best part, it still works. That is 40 years old, and it still works. I don't get it. It's kind of amazing. Oh, geez. Bruce says the Joro spiders have already started decorating. That sounds terrifying, and I'm not interested. Charlotte is here. Hello, welcome. Charlotte says, time is a scam by Big Clock. You're correct. It's a scam by Big Clock to sell more time. Bruce Lee says, we used to call it Fail-dozer. Yes, Bulldozer was pretty bad. The construction cores in general, they never really got better. We had, what, 4 revisions? Bulldozer, Pile Driver, Steamroller, and Excavator. And they never really got any faster. You know, they never went up in clock speed, and they never got better in IPC, really. It's kind of sad. Hardened Held is here and says, Bulldozer runs World of Warcraft. My brother uses my old FX to play when he comes to visit. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. I think we're going to find that it runs a few things. I know for one thing, a while back, several months ago now, we tried to run Starfield on one of my Bulldozer APUs, and it actually worked. It was like a solid console experience, like 30-ish FPS. I'm curious to see what this full-fat Bulldozer does. Since this is an FX 6300, it has, you know, 6 cores and all of the level 3 caches there instead of being replaced by an iGPU. I'm curious to see what it does. That is on the list of things to try today. Also, the 1.0 release of Satisfactory, which came out, I think, last week. It's been very good. I've been playing the ever-living snot out of it, and in fact, I'm running a dedicated server for myself and some friends, and we're going to connect into that and see how it does. Also, I do want to try like a new indie title, like Little Kitty Big City. If you haven't played it, you probably should. It's very, very cute. It's pretty easy to run. I imagine it's going to go pretty well, unless it's been compiled for newer instruction sets than what Bulldozer has, which, I don't know, who knows? Also, we'll run some 3D Mark on it. You know, we got to run some synthetics, see how it does. Other than that, I think, yeah. What else do I have to run? Oh yeah, Doom 2016. We got to run some Vulkan on it and see how many frames we get out of the frame generator, which is Doom. It'll actually be the first time I've played Doom 2016 since I picked it up probably 4 years ago. It feels bad to say that, but like I have all the Doom I need in DOS. Bruce Lee says, my friends at Pentium 4 with hyperthreading ran WoW. That's kind of amazing. That's kind of amazing. One Bit Fever Dreams here says, hello Amber, champion of the Retronauts. That's right. We are here to do some old computing. Although in this case, we're here to drag an old system into the modern age. Kicking and screaming, 12 years into the present. Jack68K asks, I think about the Dustbuster NiCad batteries. I can't imagine they're anything else. This is circa 1979. I can't imagine it's anything but NiCad. Which, I mean, yeah, if you drain it out all the way, like you just run it until it dies, and you put it back on the charger, you can get most of the battery capacity back out of it. Being nickel cadmium, you know. I was just kind of stunned that worked, right? Like I got it and like it sounded pretty sad when I turned it on, so I'm like, you know what, I'll just run it down all the way. Let's try it. I'll just run it down all the way, put it on the charger, and see what happens. And, yeah, no, it works great. It doesn't have, like, a ton of runtime anymore, but, like, it does run it, like, at full chat for a while. Like, you could use it as, you know, as intended, as a little dustbuster. It's kind of funny. Clarjo1 Plus says, I'm in on that server right now. Yes, you were when I left, so I'm glad to hear that you still are. Raptor Engine says, can you check Task Manager? Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it. If I'd had more time this morning, I was a little delayed. I'd slept in a little bit. I would have prepared an SSD with DOS on it. We could have run SpeedSys. Because this will run SpeedSys. It just, you know, I don't know what it'll think this is. 4 gigahertz, 6-core processor in DOS. I don't know what SpeedSys would do with that, but we could try it. I just don't have a DOS SSD. Because this doesn't have any parallel I/O on it. No parallel IDE. It's all SATA. Raptor Engine says 3 cores, right? It's 3 modules and 6 cores. According to AMD, before they were sued for lying about how many cores are on it. Alright, so, it is booted up and running, so let's, I guess we can hop over to the desk cam, take a look at it real quick here. Apologies for the mess. Everything in my life is in complete disarray right now. Several days have attacked me at once. But yeah, there's the machine. We're going to run we've got a 3060 plugged into it. That's way more graphics card than it's ever going to need. But I had it sitting around, and like, it's a modern graphics card. I wanted to see if it would work. It turns out it's not a problem at all. I've got 2 8GB sticks of DDR3 in here. I think it's DDR3 1600. That's 2 out of 4 slots filled, so you could fill this up to 32 gigs, which is kind of impressive. And yeah, we've got the classic heat pipe stock cooler for the FX series. I think FX and K10 both had this cooler. It works surprisingly well. So let's flip over. You can see I've got the system is booted down there. Let's flip over to the gaming view, and we'll do some gaming. Here we go. There. See, we're not running a system. It's 4x3, so we've got some interesting flavor text in the title bar there. We're definitely violating the computing Geneva conventions right now. All right. So first of all, I just rebooted this, so it's on a fresh boot. We'll start up that task manager. There you go. There's our 6 cores. She boosts up to 4 gigahertz on a single core, and she runs around 3.6 when all cores are loaded, which is frequently. Like let's say let's start with something simple like a little Firefox, and we'll just load up YouTube, right? And watch that CPU graph. Oh boy, we hit 86% there. Let's do let's say Mark Rober. Let's take a look at a Mark Rober video. We'll look at his channel. Because he's got lots of stuff going on this channel. What are we looking at? 30, 40. That's not as bad as I thought it would be. Right? Surprisingly. What else can we look at? Let's do it's not a good one to go to. What do people do with the internet these days other than like cycle through the same 3 social media sites until their social battery's drained? Let's do Google News. Is that still around? Has Google killed it yet? They haven't. Amazing. That looks fine. 73% I saw there at the top. Okay. Browsing works surprisingly quickly. So let's play some games, huh? BPS Car Audio says, I used a 6-core for a long time. Good CPU. Just retired it last year. Yeah. I've been trying to think of how to really integrate the 16:9 stuff. I mean, I don't do it a whole lot, but it would be nice to not have those gray bars at the top and bottom. It would be nice. It would be nice. The Raptor Engine says Firefox. Yes, I use Firefox as my daily browser. Yep. Oh yeah. Charlotte says, I have an old laptop I bought in 2010 with a Bulldozer APU in it. YouTube is a real challenge for it these days if it encounters 1080p video. Well, let's give it a try. I mean, it has the advantage of having a 3060 attached to it. So like video acceleration is very much there. But let's say, oh hey, look, there's us. Let's do the voodoo video. Oh, there's an ad. Of course there's an ad.
Except for that one shower. Now it's time to make it yours.
Let's pump it up to 1080p and see what it does. Get our stats for nerds here. Looking pretty okay. This video basically broke me. Like, there's so much production value in this video. I'm like, how am I gonna ever follow this thing up with anything else? Looking okay. The 6300 seems to be fine with this. So we'll full screen it and see what it does. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Gaming time. Well, let's run some benchmarks first. Let's do the 3D Mark. And then Curious, and College One is curious how big the YouTube stream lag is. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. So Yinzi says, I'd like to get a Bulldozer and Intel part from around the same time to compare compile times. I'd like to see how cache-heavy compiling software is. Well, I mean, Bulldozer launched at the same time as Intel's Sandy Bridge. They were like, I don't know, 2 months apart, I think. And Sandy Bridge, as you might know, was legendary in its price to performance, its performance per watt, its instructions per clock, both back in the day and well into, you know, Haswell and Sandy Bridge or Skylake eras, because you could overclock them. There's the last really good overclocker from Intel, where they had indium solder for the thermal interface material between the die and the heat spreader, so you could really juice those things up and overclock them. I do have a Sandy Bridge system I'm planning on taking a look at right here. This is a Core i5, and it is overclocked to 4.6 gigahertz, and it's quite fast, quite a bit faster than this thing is. To be fair, the FX is not overclocked, but they weren't tremendous overclockers, and you needed a pretty good motherboard to get any overclocking out of this, because they're pretty power hungry. Like, I think this is a 125 watt CPU, but also it's running on Global Foundry 32 nanometer, and I think your T die, like your thermal limit on the die, is like 72 Celsius. It's ridiculously low because the process was just awful, just absolutely awful. And trying to keep a 125 watt CPU below 72C while overclocking it, good luck. Good luck. I don't have the time or the materials to overclock FX, unfortunately. Alright, so let's close out our task manager and let's do some benchmarks. We'll start out with the classic, Firestrike. Who runs Firestrike anymore? I mean, this thing is from 2012. This is not the FX 6100, it's the FX 6300, so it is technically pile driver, although there's not a whole lot in it for being Bulldozer versus pile driver. BPS Car Audio says, nice space heater. Pretty much. Oh, heck yeah. Raptor Engine says, I love Sandy Bridge. My first CPU is an i3-2120. I still have it on my desk. I have a pair of i7-2600s. Unfortunately, they're non-Ks, but I keep trying to find a use for them because they're really good. Charlotte, only one dropped frame in the 1080p video. Yeah, probably just one dropped frame while it was switching over to full screen. So this thing should breeze through Firestrike, I hope, although with a slower CPU, obviously, we won't be able to push as many frames to the graphics card. I imagine we're going to see our GPU at under 100% utilization here, is my guess. Yinzi says, my first CPU is a Slot 1 Pentium 3 450 megahertz. I have 3 Slot 1 Pentium 3 450s. They are so common on the secondhand market. Like, I've picked up motherboards that just include them because they're just everywhere. They're great CPUs. They were classics. Classics. I think that was probably Dell's most popular option was the 450. They shipped so many of those back in the day. Asmodeus Devil Duke is here. Hello. Deviluke, sorry. It's a much cooler last name, Devil Duke. As Modi says, the i5 2500K was a nice sweet spot. Yeah, that was the meta back in the day, right? Get the i5 because you don't really need the hyper-threading for gaming. Oh, how far we've come. I do remember back in 2010, like, trying to run this on my hardware at the time was nowhere near this smooth. Not even close. But to be fair, I did not have a graphics card nearly as powerful as a 3060 back then. And we're actually pretty heavily utilizing it. We're in the 96-97% range. This little FX is giving it its all. Which is 47 FPS. Not incredible. Oh heck yeah. Yeah, Pentium 3 450, all the early 3D games. Oh my gosh, they were so good. Temperatures look good. I'm not sure I would trust. I'm not sure I would trust the thermometer, the built-in thermistor on the 6300. It never quite reads correctly. I'm not sure it's actually a 35C. I would be surprised. Although I guess I can just, like, give it a feel, see how it... Yeah, no, that's definitely not a 35C. It's not super warm. I'd say maybe it's at, like, 50? Clarajon1 says, wow, this Warframe fight is wild. So all of this stuff is just the demo. It's not even the benchmark. The benchmark is just this, well, you'll see in a minute. Just like this stupid, like, flying through a tunnel thing. What was the point of that? Yeah, no, 50C is okay. Yeah. I'm not super worried about how warm it is. Like, I have a dual Opteron board, and those Opterons get warm. They bump up against that 72-degree limit quite a lot. I recently tried to actually use it, and it had some problems. I don't know what's going on with it, but it refused to boot. We've got some replacement CPUs for it. Hopefully it's just one of the CPUs is bad. It kept saying it couldn't see one of the sticks of RAM in it. Raptor Engine says, sometimes I think my Ryzen 9 is going to turn my cooler into slag. So I have a 3D V-Cache Ryzen, and I'm constantly worried about the CPU itself turning into slag. You, like, look at it wrong and it jumps up to 90 degrees Celsius. Maybe sandwiching a bunch of cores underneath some additional silicon wasn't a great idea. So here's our CPU benchmark. This is the one we actually care about. We are seeing 96% utilization on the CPU. Yeah, no, it's not just you, Glarjon. Yeah, you look at your horizon wrong and it just goes up to 90 degrees Celsius. Ah, that's true. That is true. I wasn't doing a lot of that back in 2010, but I had heard that if you could pick up a 6 or 8 core bulldozer, you know, you could run your game on the first 2 cores and then run whatever else you wanted. Listen to music, stream. What else were we doing in 2010? Winamp? We're still doing Winamp in 2010? Okay, so a 9521 in Fire Strike, which 3D Mark says is good. Sure, okay. Um, Showing results from the same hardware. I'm guessing this is the only hardware with this configuration. Because who else would put a 3060 in an FX 6300 except me? You know, we are solidly below the budget gaming PC. Although we are faster than an office laptop, so there is that. Yikes. So let's see if we can get some result details. So what do we got? Graphics test 1 was 91.75 FPS. Graphics test 2 is 86.5 FPS. What I'd like to see is what other 3060s score in this test to see how much we're sandbagging the 3060 with this CPU. Can I do that? 3D Mark, will you let me? Yes, I think I can. The only thing I've done with this 3060 is up the power limit. Oh, and it didn't even take. So we were running stock power limit. So no, there's been nothing going on with this 3060. Let me change that. Give a very small memory overclock. And we'll up the power limit. That should be pretty good for ye olde 3060. So what are we looking at? So, TimeSpy. We've got comparison numbers in TimeSpy. So let's run TimeSpy on this and see what happens. I'm sure this will not backfire at all, right? This will be fine. We'll skip the demo this time. Let's see what we've got. I8386SX says I barely had an internet presence in 2010. It comes with being old. I got on the internet when it was very young, and I was very young. Oh, nice. Bruce Lee says, my current system has an i5-4440 in it. Thinking about throwing an i7-5775C in there. You know what's interesting, Bruce? Iceberg Tech actually tested the 55 or 5775C to see, like, does all that cache help, right? Because, like, it certainly seems to help with Ryzen. He had some interesting results. Some very interesting results. I would recommend hanging on to your money. Since the 5775s are very expensive, just because they're kind of collectible. I can't really even recommend like going to an i7 unless you can pick up like a 4770, something like that, 4790 non-K. They usually go pretty cheap, and they're pretty decent performance. Yinzi says, I got on the internet in 2006 or 2007, but I grew up with late 90s hardware. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I, my household, my parents had America Online for a long time. A long time. And, yeah, that was what I used to get my old 486 online. AOL. I keep meaning to try and track down one of the old DOS discs for AOL because, yes, there was a DOS version of AOL, and you would think, well, hang on, how do you do AOL in DOS? Because it's all graphical. Well, AOL for DOS runs on top of GEOS. So there's a DOS port of GEOS, a DOS x86 port of GEOS, that then boots into America Online. And I've been meaning to try and track down one of those install disks because it's kind of fun. Because you can just close out of AOL and then you have like this minimal GEOS graphical user interface that's like, it's not quite Windows and it's not quite anything else, and it's kind of interesting. I kind of want to play around with it one of these days. I do. I was pawing through my floppy disks the other day, and I did find one of these. Unfortunately, it is no longer readable, but it is a genuine AOL diskette from back in the day. This one is 97, so it's one of the later ones. Version 3 for Windows. Its frame rate's looking pretty good here with Time Spy. I'm curious to see what we get for a score. I would think that this FX processor would sandbag us a little bit much. Even just in a a non-CPU performance test. Nice. Hello, welcome to the stream. UKM6YK. M6YIK says, I still have a water-cooled FX8350 here that I built back in the day with a 980 Ti. Heck yeah. That's some cool hardware. Yanzi says my 4790K has now been demoted to being the media center CPU, only decoding and displaying media streamed from an SFTP server to my 4K TV. That's probably fair. That's probably fair. Oh no. Clarjon says, I have done some painting in the area you logged out of in Satisfactory. I think that's going to be the next thing we look at. Once we get these benchmark numbers, we'll hop into Satisfactory and see how it runs on this. Mostly because I want to know what happened. Okay. Benchmark's over. Let's see what we got. Oh no. Oh, that's quite bad. Oh, that's quite bad. Uh, so a 5899. Though graphics score of 8793 is not terrible. So what did we get here? That's actually comparable. Look at that. We're not sandbagging it at all. At least in 3D Mark. 8793 versus an 8780 graphics score. That's kind of impressive. That's kind of impressive. Huh. Alright. I was not expecting that. Okay, let's hop into Satisfactory. Nice. Nice, nice. M6YI case is full custom blue water-cooled loop, 16 gigs of 1866 RAM. I use it for emulation nowadays, but it plays emulators at 4K upscaling. No worries. What card am I running? Well, in this thing here, we've got a 3060. So 3060 12 gig. Originally, I was going to be using it for my home lab for doing machine learning. And then my home lab died. So now I have it available for shenanigans. In this machine that I'm streaming from, I do a lot of social VR and VR chat, and that I also use a Vario Aero VR headset, which is just about, that's like 85% of the resolution of the Apple Vision Pro, which is a lot of pixels. Needs a lot of VRAM. So I have a 3090. I'm really hoping that all of the rumors about the 5090 being bad or very expensive are going to be false. Because I'd really like something faster than a 3090. I know I sound incredibly privileged, like, you have a 3090 and it's not fast enough, but like, the Aero is like strapping two 5K displays to your graphics card. Good luck. Here, run these twin 5K displays at 90 Hz. Don't drop any frames. Eric's Edge is here. Hello, welcome to the stream. We are running some games on Bulldozer. We just finished some benchmarks. Turns out 3D Mark is pretty well optimized. We're not actually sandbagging the graphics score at all with this FX 6300, which is kind of fascinating. What on earth is... Oh my god. So this is my Satisfactory dedicated server. And here is Clarjon, who's also in chat. Say hi, everybody. So if you're not familiar with Satisfactory, Satisfactory is a base builder, not too unlike Factorio. It's an automation factory game, but it's in first-person 3D, as you can see. And this is actually running surprisingly well. 772 FPS? That's kind of incredible. We are basically pinning the CPU. We're at 85% on the CPU there. And we're using about 2/3 of the 3060's performance. But we are getting really decent frames, honestly. So I'm gonna take our transport device here. We'll go to the main base. I'll show you the main base. But this is running very well. We're still above 60 F. Oh, not quite 60. I see 55, 57. We're just about 60 FPS here. looking at basically the entire map from up here. That's kind of impressive. Clarjon asks, do you like my paint job? I do. It's very nice. It's very nice. Thank you. Oh no! Bruce says, I forgot the walk-in cooler at my work is basically a Faraday cage. Lost the stream for a minute. Well, welcome back. We're finally doing some games. This is Satisfactory. They recently launched their 1.0. I think it was last week. Maybe it was earlier this week. I don't know how time works. But this is running a lot better than I thought it was going to. Well, maybe not. Now we're into the high 30s, low 40s. This is more like what I was expecting out of this, honestly. So let's drop down into the base and see what's going on. Oh boy, that's some stutter. Here we go. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. 45 to 55? That's actually not bad. There's our space elevator. Everybody say hi to the space elevator. If you haven't played this game, I highly recommend it. If you're at all into factory automation games at all, it's a really good time. The writing in it is also really funny. There is a story. Myself and 6 other friends are currently unraveling it because they saved the story for the 1.0 release. So you're not missing anything if you've only started to come in at 1.0. These are hypertubes. These transport you very quickly. I'll give you a little demo here. They're also a really great stress test because now we have to stream in all this geometry. And it works surprisingly well. Oh, that's very green. That wasn't green when I logged off. That's quite green. Okay, someone's been busy with the paint gun. It's all green. It's all okay, it's all green. We'll run with it. It's fine. This is totally playable. Honestly, I have played this game with worse frame rates than this. I'm really impressed, actually. How on earth? It runs really nicely. I mean, it's not like perfect. Like, we're getting 40 FPS in some places, but like, it's eminently playable. Right, like let's build something. Right, let's go over here. Oh, also, by the way, this is running in Unreal Engine 5. So we're running a UE5 game on FX 6300. I'm impressed. I am quite impressed. Let's see if we're gonna put something together here real quick. Do I have any materials on me? Let's do one of these. Yeah, there's some stutter there. That's to be expected. I'll put a little smelter next to it. That's fine. Oh, hello. Welcome to stream, Yosh. Oh, I can't build a miner if it's not on a mining node. Let's see. What else can I build here? Big old storage unit in. That's fine. That's impressive. This is way more playable than I thought it would be. Yeah, no, I could play the game with this. This is not bad at all. Huh. All right. All right, I'm impressed. Let's give it a challenge. let's do Starfield. The last time we ran Starfield was on a 4-core APU, and we got about 30 FPS. Let's see what we can get out of it. Oh, this is quite pink. This has become very pink up here. Alright, let's try Starfield and see how that is. Oh, you never know. Multiplayer satisfactory, you really never know what anything's going to look like. Okay. Starfield. I'm pretty sure the first time we run this, it's just gonna sit there and like compile shaders and just chug for a bit. So we've got some time to talk. Bruce asks, so would you say that performance is satisfactory? Yes, Bruce, it's quite satisfactory. Yeah, Yenzi says this performance seems better than some budget gaming laptops. It really does. I'm surprised. And yeah, see it's doing the thing. It's doing the thing. It just sits here and it like pre-compiles some shaders at 100% CPU usage for who knows how long. So we've got some time to chat while we wait for Starfield to launch. Bruce says, but can it run Starfield? This could run Crysis, probably. Probably pretty well with a 3060. But, with Starfield, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Alright, Yinzi. It sounds like you're having a wonderful evening, honestly. Yinzi says, I'm a little inebriated from inaugurating my new home by having a few drinks around the fire in the garden. I'll stick around for Starfield. Glad to have you here, and congrats on the house. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. It sounds like you are. It's nearly 1 a.m. here. I feel I am excused. You are. No worries. No worries. I have to say, I can feel the heat coming off of this thing right now. You definitely feel the heat. It's a little toasty. It's a little toasty right now. Oh, there we go. We have started Starfield. Starfield has decided it is time. Oh, more shader compiling. Clarjon says, I made the coal plant in Satisfactory that color, bright green, so we could say that we're using green energy. Thank you, I appreciate the pun. Oh, nice. Yunzi said, I have some friends over. It's a wonderful evening. First time I got to really sit down at my PC in my new home. After moving so many boxes, quite a relaxing evening. That sounds wonderful. That sounds wonderful. Congratulations. As I sit in my cramped little apartment box. I don't know if that will ever happen for me, but congratulations. That sounds really nice. It sounds really nice. Oh, Yoshark is here. Hello. We said hi on stream. Yosha's real companies would use that to try and say that their energy is green. Yeah, probably. I have seen, I think it was a meme, but I think the picture wasn't manipulated. I think it was actually real. There's one of those reserved parking signs that said parking reserved for green vehicles only. Like, you know, it's supposed to be for like electric hybrid cars, whatever. And someone parked a green pickup truck. Just painted green, big green pickup truck in the green vehicles parking. I mean, they were technically correct. Oh, shader compilation's taking forever. Oh boy. Any day now. Any day now. I should have pre-compiled these. I'm so sorry. Hopefully this will be quick. It's usually pretty quick on like modern CPUs. Of course, we're not dealing with a modern CPU here. Yup. Oh, looks like I might be going faster now. There we go. That's more like it. Awesome. Let's hop into a game. What is this set to for set? Oh, geez. Yes, no, you didn't ask me a question. Okay, settings, display. So we're at medium preset, which means 50% render resolution scale. Okay, I guess we'll give it a try. I'll turn off VSync so we can see our real frame rate. All layers use anisotropic filtering. Wow, that's a weird option. Okay, what do I have for... Let's go to this game. I don't know where this is saved. Yunzi says Starfield runs really stably on any system I've tested on. The one thing I was really impressed about, especially during early testing of this game, was that the frame times are always really good. Like your frame rate might not be very high, but the frame times are usually pretty good. Like it's really smooth. That was very impressive. Yinzi says, I guess they're called layers now? 20 years ago they were called render passes. I wonder if it's texture layers? Like if this is doing a lot of multi-texturing, why wouldn't you want to run anisotropic filtering on all of your texture passes? Doesn't seem to make sense to me. Bruce says, my car is somewhat green, a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder Mitsubishi Mirage. That is somewhat green. That is somewhat green. I try to drive my car as little as possible. Since I started working from home, and my car maintenance expenses reduced by like to 1/10 of what they were before I was driving to work every day. It's such a terrible idea. Commuting to work in a car is such a terrible idea. I'm completely anti-car. I had no idea how much money I was spending on just gas and like maintenance and oil changes until I stopped commuting to work in a car. And literally that expense dropped to 1/10 of what it was before. 1/10. Nice. Yinzi says I read 1 liter 3-cylinder Seat Ibiza. Ibiza? I don't know. I think those were sold. I don't think those were sold in. No, we don't have any Seats here. That's a Volkswagen Group brand, isn't it? We only get Volkswagen and Audi here, unfortunately. No Seat, no Octavia. Raptor Engine says cars are the ticket to freedom. Cars are the ticket to debt. That's what cars are. Okay, so let's see. That was a stutter. I remember where I am. That's right. Is this? I must have cleared everybody out of here. Map? Yes, after... Oh no! It's this one! It's this bug! Take a good look, folks. This is a fun bug that shows up the first time you run the game after the creation kit gets installed. For whatever reason, all of the planet textures get turned into this. Default planet material. The swap hasn't occurred. You shouldn't be seeing this. I have bad news for you, Starfield. We are seeing it. Oh, amazing. Okay, so I want the map, and then I want, like, the useful map, which is the ground level map. There we go. That was a delay. Have I cleared this? I have. It's marked as explored, which means I've cleared it. Because I had to use a different word than cleared. Okay. Get out of the map. There we go. We at least run around in here. There's no combat left anymore. I killed everybody already. Let's see if we go outside here. Oh, geez, these stutters are bad. Whew. Good lord. We done stuttering? Can we be done stuttering? What am I using right now? Oh, I don't have my process memory in use. We're currently utilizing 75% of the GPU. A cool 100 watts out of this 3060. That's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. 40, 50 FPS. Again, the frame times are not bad. That frame time graph is pretty solid. Not a lot of spikes in there. The spikes are small. Till we load things. What if I talk to you? Oh, that's a big stutter. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, what's wrong with this? Oh, no! Oh! So apparently, if you talk to your follower, you crash Starfield. Good. A+. A+ job, Bethesda. I kind of want to try it again just to see if that was that texture bug. If there were more bugs in there. Raptor Engine asks, what's the clock of the 3060? It is defaults. I do have the power limit up 110%. And I've given it a 200 megahertz memory clock bump, which is like nothing. Almost nothing at all. It's otherwise stock. It is the Zotac version. I don't think it's anything particularly special. It's just a Zotac 3060, 12 gigabyte. Let's load this up. I wonder if I have a save before I murdered everyone. Probably this one. It has been a month since I played this game. I didn't realize that these are all from August. So the thing about this game is it loading my save? What is it doing? Hello, game. Is everything okay, game? Oh boy. That's a lot of CPU use. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yep, a genuine Bethesda crash. That is correct. It's just like, every time I read one of these tips in the game, it's just like, when you consume several food items, drinks, or chems with the same kind of effect, only the item with the strongest effect will be applied. Like, have this example of how we've killed all the fun in the game. Sorry, no stacking effects. Sucks to suck. Like, come on. I swear, it's like Bethesda developed this game and completely forgot what makes a Bethesda RPG fun. They're like, this is going to be our big, serious game that people will take seriously. Like, you guys don't make serious games. You guys make trash that's fun to play. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. We have the recent update, which gives us a car. Want to see how bad the car is on a 62300? I'm kind of curious. That is some stutter. Alright, so, well, we've got somebody landing over here, so let's go get him. The controls on the car are awful. Like, legit terrible. It's nearly impossible to, like, not look straight ahead when you're driving. At least they put jump jets on it. They're kind of corny, but at least they put jump jets on it. An admission that their terrain generator was not designed for vehicular travel. We are getting a lot of stutter. Streaming in terrain mere inches in front of the car. Alright, who do we got here? I think this is not hostile. Can I get out of the car? Get out of the car. Oh, nope, it is hostile. They just warped in. It's Ecliptics. They're hostile. I think I have my sniper rifle equipped. I want a different white rifle. It's not what I want to use to fight Ecliptics. Get him? Got him. You know! The worst part, right? Like, you get these cool random encounters where a ship will come in and land. You can't get on board. It's always locked. You can't, like, commandeer the ship. You can't even, like, loot it or parts it. It just flies away. There's just so many opportunities for fun gameplay that Bethesda was like, nah, it's too hard, let's not do it. This game is so disappointing. So disappointing. So many opportunities for fun, and they're just like, nah. Give me your stuff. There we go. Okay, we'll get back in the car. Hopefully we don't overwhelm the terrain streamer this time. I don't imagine that's actually the terrain streamer's fault, but more the FX 6300. Oh, it's got a turbo boost. Heck yeah. Speaking of overwhelming the terrain loader. Oh geez, that just disappeared in front of me. Oh no, terrain is warping in and out at random. Oh. Oh, amazing. The jank is incredible. Oh, that's a big stutter. Oh boy. Raptor Engine says FX 6300, more like F 6300. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Oh boy. Oh, I think we've got another crash. Nope, nope, we're still here. Okay. Will we stay here? That looks bad. That looks bad. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, oh, wait, wait. Okay, okay. Let's hop out of the car. Let's go shoot some people and see what happens. I know I said like the frame time graph on this game is pretty good. It's not so great. Not so great on this in this case. Uh-oh. Oh geez. God, the loading is just the worst. Once things are loaded in, it's fine, but like, geez, the loading's bad. Oh, that's right. That is a clear railing that I can't shoot through, but they can shoot through. Fun. Oh boy. A quick menu is not quick. There we go. Well, I wonder what it's loading when I go to fire my gun. Like, why does it pause for 30 seconds? You're going inside. Okay. Sure. It's, this is about as bad as I thought it was gonna be, honestly. This is pretty much as I expected. Oh, hello. Sitting in the airlock waiting for me. Exactly. Exactly, Raptor Engine. This is pretty bad. Got some slightly lighter weight games to try on this. It's pretty much like once everything's loaded in, we're back to like the 30-ish FPS that we were getting with the APU. Said I was being. Oh, there's a room over there. Okay. I click and it just pauses. What? Oh, that is my follower. That is not an ecliptic. Sorry, 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 Barrett. Sorry. All right. This is. That is a. Oh, look at that CPU utilization, all the way up, 100%, all cores. Yikes. Whew. Bruce has imagined it on DDR2. Oh my gosh, that would be so bad. Oh. Okay. Controller time. Curious if Beam runs at all well on this. Because Beam and G, rather notoriously, I think doesn't really have many optimizations. It certainly doesn't care if you have 3D cache. I've done a little bit of testing with that versus like non-3D cache CPUs. It doesn't care. Runs exactly the same. So I'm curious if it runs... how much worse it runs on the FX 6300? Because you know it'll run worse. You know. Interesting. Clarajon says some Google searching shows that there's a number of people who have stutters and lag when firing certain guns in Starfield. Apparently the non-standard guns have more issues than the gray guns, and that I was indeed using a an enhanced gun. What? Yeah, online features is fine. No telemetry, thanks. Bye. Okay, so let's just free roam. I have not installed any of my mods on here, so we've just got the base game. Let's do Italy. Where is Italy? Italy's a great map for testing CPU, because there's all kinds of stuff in the Italy map. Set our graphics up once we're in the game. Once we're in the game, Raptor Engine asks, how much RAM are you running? This is using two 8GB sticks, so a total of 16 gigabytes. Unfortunately, it's all I've got for DDR3 right now. My APUs will run ECC RAM, and I have a ton of, like, it's not registered, but it's ECC RAM. It's out of various models of the Mac Pro, which is great because you can get it on eBay for super, super cheap. But this won't run it. Technically, the integrated memory controller can do it, but it depends on motherboard support for ECC RAM, which is really annoying. This one doesn't support it. I suppose I can check the BIOS updates and see if there's a newer BIOS that does. I haven't looked at it. But I do have like 32 gigabytes of DDR3 ECC because it's super cheap. And this is taking an age to load. Just an absolute age. My gosh. There we go. We're in the game. It's still loading assets. Look at that CPU usage. 100% loading in assets. 100% CPU usage. Come on, Beam. You can do it. There we go. There we go. Alright. Let's do some graphics options. Options. There we go. Graphics. Let's do... Oh no. Oh no, I clicked a button. This is painful. Satisfactory ran great compared to this. I consider Beam to be a lighter weight game. But like, jeez. So I think I'm just gonna leave it at normal. I'll just maximize the window. And we'll just drive around. Let's change our car. We gotta have a Piccolina, right? In the Italy map? We gotta do the Piccolina. The Tricolore. Mike N asks, is this PCI Express 2.0? No! It's PCI Express 3. It is still DDR3 though, so we don't have a ton of bandwidth. Just from like the CPU to the RAM. Alright, so with everything loaded in, it's actually not terrible. Things look pretty okay, honestly. Like, can spin the camera around, it's not terrible. Let's go. Things look generally okay. Like I'm expecting like missing scenery and like it's fine. Everything's here where I would expect it to be. I go down the wrong way on the street because I'm a menace. It's a little bit of stutter during like level of detail pop in, but like it's mostly fine. I'd almost say it runs pretty well, actually. Yes. Bruce Lee says, Bulldozer did make it to AM4. Yes, it did. I have one of those. I no longer have a functioning motherboard that can run it because a lot of the times if you update a motherboard's BIOS to something that'll run like, say, Zen 3, they'll drop support for the Bulldozer parts because who runs them anymore, right? And then you can't downgrade your BIOS. A lot of the motherboards won't let you flash an older BIOS to the board, so you can't get that support back. And that's what ended up happening with my. I had a BioStar board that was what I was using for my my Carrizo. Carrizo? No, it was is it Bristol Ridge? I don't remember. Raven Ridge, Bristol Ridge. It was whatever the Bulldozer APU on AM4 was. I still have one. I just don't have a board that'll run it. The very the they were really reaching when they named it an A10, considering their other APUs being, you know, A6 and A8 were basically the same performance level. Calling it an A10 was, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was, oh geez. Whoop! Uh-oh. Big stutter with that little bump on the side of the car. I guess we should crash it and see what happens. Are we gonna get a huge stutter if we crash the car? I was not expecting a huge stutter there. Let me see if I can find a nice wall to crash this into. Got lots of cliffside. I've left the town, unfortunately. There's lots of nice vertical walls to crash into in the town. I bet if I whip this around and go up this road here, I bet... Beamer, you gonna move the camera? No? Okay. Go up this little road here. I bet we get to like a farmhouse or something. Nope. Oh, nope. We just get smoked. Piccolina can't do it. No, I've beached it. Oh, there we go. Oh, the Piccolina cannot climb that. Cannot climb that. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Well, you know what? We do have quite a large ravine down there, so, let me see if I can remember. There's the slow motion. Let's go. Let's do it. Oh no! I pressed the wrong button! I'm so bad at this game. Okay, we're gonna run this right into a wall here. Got a nice big wall right here, and bam! No stutter, at least. I was hoping for a little more drama. Probably not fast enough, huh? Let's get this to go. Oh, there we go. Once it loads in, like, this game's actually pretty playable. Surprisingly. But boy, that loading time, holy cow. Really bad. There's an Italian parking job for you. Beam runs alright, honestly. Once it loads, it runs pretty good. Loading is awful, but could probably help that with a better SSD. I'm just using a cheap one. And some more RAM. Alright, well, let's do... Let's do a little Deep Rock Galactic, huh? Rock and Stone. How is that gonna run? I'm curious. Yes, that's the one. That's, yeah, A12, right? The A12 9800. What are you doing calling it an A12? It's no faster than anything else you've ever put out with a Bulldozer APU in it. What are you doing? AMD, what are you doing? Raptor Engine says crash, but no crash. It was crash to building side instead of crash to desktop. I have a few hours in Deep Rock Galactic. Just a few. Oh, here we go. Loading screen. This is a common sight with this processor. Load up the space rig. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Yeah, alright, that feels okay. So if you've never played Deep Rock Galactic, this is it kind of feels like a live service game, but it's not. It runs multiplayer on whoever's hosting the game. So you set up a party through like Steam multiplayer, and then whoever's running the game, whoever invites people in, is the host, and they run it on their machine. Which is actually brilliant, honestly. Live service games are just kind of a joke. Let's see. So my mods are not installed, so all of my dwarves are dwarves instead of kobolds. And they're all ready for promotion, because I've been playing a lot of the game and I have not been doing promotion tracks. So I've got Driller, who is not up for promotion. So we'll do a mission as Driller. Let's do... What's quick? Quark missions. We want quick, or do we want... Well, I guess we want quick, right? We don't want to sit here for forever. Let's do... Don't want that one. Ebonite Enemies is actually really fun, but it, I guess the Quark mission is going to be the quickest, because I'll have Bosco. Let's go! Into the drop pod. There's some lag between when I move the mouse and when I see the screen update, because I'm playing through the capture card, so this will be fun. Asmodeus is like, hey, Vermintide 2? I have not played Vermintide or Vermintide 2. Mike asks, what is the SATA speed on this system? I think it's 3.0? 6 gigabits, I think. The thing is, right, like, you're like, wait, well, is it this? Is it this? Is it... The actual answer is, it's the CPU is slow. The answer is the CPU is slow. That's why everything takes forever to load. Good lord. Hey, Ron's here from Ron's Computer Videos. Hello. Welcome to the stream, Ron. We are torturing an old AMD FX CPU with modern games. Starfield was real bad. I'm currently giving it a try with Deep Rock Galactic. Generally a more friendly game to run on lower-end hardware, but we'll see. This thing has been defying a lot of expectations today, we'll just say that. It really just... It put me in a giant pit. Thank you so much. Alright, well, let's get out of the pit. We've got drills. Let's drill. That's better. Okay, Bosco, your first objective. So Deep Rock Galactic is a game about, ostensibly, mining minerals in caves on some random moon somewhere called Hoxie's. In reality, it's basically Team Fortress 2. It's a TF2 wave shooter, basically. Ron, thank you for the super chat. Ron says, hot loading action. I appreciate everybody tell Ron he's awesome. Because he is. It's not just because he put in a super chat, really. It might be slightly because he put in a super chat. This seems to be running just fine. I'm looking at 120 FPS, which is great. But like, that's it's pretty good. It's what I would expect out of this game, and it's what I would want, right? I want to run this at more than 60 FPS. Because I'm going to be playing this with friends. It's multiplayer. It gets a little frantic. It gets a lot frantic sometimes. Why am I drilling this with my pickaxe? I have drills. Let's go. The best part about driller, you have drills. You can mold the terrain. So like TF2, you've got 4 classes. Your team works best when you have all 4 classes in it, but you don't have to. You don't have to run all 4 classes. You have a limited number of weapons. You've got a primary, a secondary. You've got some kind of traversal tool, in this case the drills. You have a sort of an asterisk weapon. In the case of the driller, I have a satchel charge. Probably looks familiar to a lot of folks out there. Makes a big hole. And then of course you can drop down on resupplies when you run out of ammo. Oscar, where did you go? Give me that. Thank you. New mission for you. Go there. But this game is also very funny. The modding community for this game is absolutely delightful. They've made some incredible mods for it. And I just have a lot of fun playing this with friends. This is one of my favorite games. I have hundreds of hours in this game at this point. Hundreds of hours. And I don't know, I never get sick of it. It's just a lot of fun to play with folks. And it runs like butter on this FX 6300. I don't understand why. It runs great. Is this the legacy of AMD's weird CPU architectures for 10 years? That now, like, there's, like, optimizations built into Unreal Engine 4 and 5 for these CPUs? Is that why these are running so well? Because this is Unreal Engine, this is Unreal Engine 4. Like, is that why this runs so well? I mean, it is also, like, it's not hard to run, right? Like, graphically speaking, it's not awful to run, but, you know, like, this is a CPU test. And it's passing with flying colors. What are we doing for utilization? Yeah, it's only like 60% utilized. That's kind of amazing. Here we go. Now we're dropping frames. We're down to like 80 FPS. Bosco, I thought I told you to go get that gem. Go get the gem. I mean, I appreciate the fire support, but go get the gem. That's what you're best at. My question is, did he get it and then drop it somewhere in the cave and I have to go find it? See if it shows up on the scanner. I don't see anything. I'm, so far, other than the loading, This has been really impressive. I was not expecting any of these games to run this well. We still have like Little Kitty Big City to take a look at, but I was thinking that would be like the fallback game because none of these would run and we'd have to play Little Kitty in the Big City. To be fair, it's a terrific game. It's just a fallback game because I figured it'd be easy to run on this hardware. Not to slight it as a game properly because it is a great game. We've got 20 minutes left. Why don't we look at Little Kitty Big City? Just to see it, because it's great. It's a fun time. It doesn't involve weird bugs. That makes sense. Satisfactory and Deep Rock Galactic, both coffee stain games. So yeah, it makes sense. Weird bugs in them. Weird bugs in both games. All right, get up here. A quirk left, so let's get that in here. We'll finish this mission off, and we'll go play Little Kitty Big City. I spy with my little eye and a quirk way up there. Go get it, Bosco. A quirk mission solo with Bosco, fantastic. You just point and click, Bosco collects the crystals. All good. All good. So you've got various mission types in this game. This is probably my least favorite mission type, honestly. I think the bog standard mining mission, where you just go and you have to find a particular mineral, and you have to bring back like 250 of it. That's probably my least favorite. This one's up there, though, as my least favorite mission. Mercifully, Bosco makes it pretty easy to get it done quickly. Drop it. Thank you. I will take that, and we will get out of here. So far, so good. Only a couple of frame drops and, like, heavy fighting. Not bad. I think we've been over 80 frames per second the whole time. Kinda ridiculous. But this is kind of what I've said for a while. Like, do you need... And maybe I need to make another video like this. It does keep getting views. My cheap Ryzen video does keep getting views. But like, do you need to get that fancy 3D V-cache CPU? Probably not. Probably not. Unless you do a few things. There's a few things that I can think of that I really want that extra cache for. But like, if you're playing flat games with like a mid-range graphics card, you don't need it. You don't need it. Now, one of the things I would say that you want the big impressive CPU with all the cache for would be like VR. There's a lot of VR games that really benefit from having all that cache because they're built-in engines that are not terribly optimized, not terribly well optimized, and you need as many frames as possible when you're in VR. Dropped frames equals nausea. Okay, is my drop pod in here? No, it's almost here. 5 seconds. Alright, drop pod inbound. And it is this way. How far away is that? 20 meters? Should be able to get it. Oh, it's right there. Heck yeah. Oh, it's right by the platform. Amazing. Alright, let's get out of here. Play some Little Kitty Big City. kind of stunning, honestly, how well this thing actually runs. Bruce Lee asks, do you have Everspace? I don't know what that is, so no, I don't have that. I don't know what it is. Raptor Engine says, the jumping reminds me of Unreal Tournament on Windows 98. You can b-hop in Deep Rock Galactic. Bunny hopping does work. If you can time your jumps correctly, you can accelerate while jumping. Just like classic Half-Life. Alright. Boop. Out we go. Little Kitty Big City. Alright, we're gonna run Doom on this. I still haven't run Doom. I want to show off Little Kitty Big City, because it's a better game. Mike N says, Everspace is great. What is Everspace? The game has loaded in behind everything else. Thank you, Windows. That's definitely how that's supposed to work. Okay, now for me to remember how to play this game. It's been a little while. So, Little Kitty Big City. A lot of people I know are like, this is what Stray should have been. I'm like, I don't know. Stray's its own thing, you know? Like, I really loved Stray, and I really love this game. They're about as different as two games where you control a cat can be, right? Like, this is very stylized. There's lots of shenanigans to do. There's a lot of interacting with people you can do. Whereas Stray is much more about the exploration and the detail in the environment to just kind of go seek out. Wow, that's a pretty bad frame rate, actually. I figured we'd get better frames than this. 48 FPS. And we're using 40% of the GPU, so it's definitely not a GPU problem. Wow. See, and here I thought this would be the easy game to run, and it's not. We're not even hitting... Oh, there's 60 FPS. I was going to say, we're not even hitting 60 FPS. Wow. That's kind of fascinating. Huh. I mean, I guess that means you would get, you know, we're so close to 60 FPS in a lot of places. Like here, over here at the edge of the map, we're at like 70, 72. Turn around and look back towards the rest of the map, and we drop down to 50. But I guess that would mean, like, all this would take would be, you know, a first generation Ryzen, you know, to get a solid 60 FPS anywhere. So, okay, that's fair. I'm honestly impressed by how this is done today. Honestly impressed. climb on this person's car. I don't think I can get up there. I can climb vines, but I don't have that much climbing ability right now. Yeah, see, I don't have that much. Nope. I can't climb very high on vines. My vine climbing skill is not very high. I'm pretty early on in the game. It's just a really endearing game. I feel like Stray and Little Kitty Big City are they're two very different games. I have a Rubik's Cube. Look at this. I can carry a Rubik's Cube around. They do both have meow buttons, dedicated meow buttons, very important. This one, it's weird, right? Like, Stray's art style is far more grounded in reality than this is. Like, this is very clearly, you know, very Toon influenced. It's a very stylized, non-photorealistic art style. And yet the things that you can do as a cat in this game are very realistic. You can carry around stuff, you can get in people's way, you can pounce on birds. Why did that dog... Oh, I fed the dog, that's right. The dog usually scares the daylights out of you and you have to run away. But, like, you do very grounded, normal cat things. Like, I just tripped someone, sorry. In this game, while the art style's very, not grounded in reality. And then Stray is the other way around. Like, you do incredible things as a cat in Stray. You go talk to people, you unearth a conspiracy, you find all kinds of interesting objects, people, and places in this, you know, sci-fi, this incredible sci-fi environment. But the graphics are much more grounded in reality. It's kind of an interesting juxtaposition. I think the two games are very different and very complementary. But yeah, this is definitely one to have a look at if you've ever wanted to play another funny cat game. And Stray didn't quite scratch the itch for you. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do in this game. We'll do the dedicated stock thing. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Verb. Oh, missed the bird. Darn. Took too long. But yeah, this is a fun game. Alright, let's run Doom on this. I promised Doom, we'll run Doom. Let's see what we can get in frame rate in Doom. Wow, that was using a lot of the CPU. A lot more than I thought. Yikes. Hello! Joanne is here. Hello. The FX, she says the FX 6300 isn't doing too bad. Yeah, it's been a surprise today. It's been a surprise. It runs satisfactory, like greased lightning. It's kind of amazing. The Little Kitty Big City is really the most surprising one to me, that it was running as badly as it was. Oh, and she's also, I absolutely love your stream format with the Windows 98 windows. Thank you so much. They're actually screen captures out of Windows 2000. Same idea, though. Alright, here we go. Doom 2016 on ye olde FX processor. This is gonna be something. I've had assumptions. I've had assumptions in my mind about how all of these games were going to work today, and none of them have been quite the way I've expected. I thought Little Kitty Big City was going to be piece of cake, hundreds of FPS, no problem. It goes like 50 FPS. I thought Satisfactory was going to be like maybe 30 FPS if we're lucky, runs like a dream, like 70, well, 30 in some places, but most of the time 70 FPS. Incredible. I was not expecting to get 120 FPS out of Deep Rock Galactic. I figured I'd maybe get 60 or 70. Like, it's not a super hard to run game, but I didn't think I was going to get the full 120 out of it that I usually look for. Joanne says, make sure to use Vulcanite. Definitely. That's the whole point of doing this. Raptor Engine says, the retro PCs I spotted in Stray were cool. The Stray just, like, it just kind of, like, exuded, like, style. Like, there's just this great art design behind it. You realize, like, when you booted the game up, like, there's just so much stuff everywhere. Like, clearly, that was what people were doing for most of the game's, you know, early access. Is they were just, like, placing and tweaking every little tiny thing, because there's, like, 10,000 greeblies in, like, one area. And they're all, you know, they have to be, like, hand placed. Like, my gosh. Oh. Alright, yes, continue. It's fine. Just do it. Let's go. Okay. I've never played this before. I feel... Where's the options menu? Options? Do I get options? No. I don't want to quit. I just want options. I guess I don't get options. I'm hoping we get an options menu once we're in the game. Okay. We've got a cutscene, but I can't hear it, and okay. Can't skip it. Maybe not the optimal way to experience the Doom 2016 for the first time. So it looks like we're V-Sync. Alright, well, let's blow some stuff up. And then can I get to an options menu? Pretty please. It's definitely V-Sync. I can feel the mushiness. Okay. Settings! Okay. Video. 1080p, blah, blah, blah. Vertical sync, nope. Vertical sync off. Advanced. Accept, yes. Advanced. For an OpenGL, let's go to Vulkan. We'll set it to high quality. It's a 3060, it can probably handle it. Okay. Harden Held is here. Welcome to the stream. Harden says, I never played any of the Doom games after Doom 3. I actually liked Doom 3. Doom 3 was unique. I say that with all of the weight and import that goes behind the word unique. At the time, I couldn't really appreciate it. Because I had it when it came out, when it was brand new. We've got to compile shaders again. Wonderful. I don't know. I didn't love it. I watched LGR's retrospective on it. I think it was LGR. Where he was like, basically, like it's not a shooter like all the previous Doom games. It's a horror game, and I'm like, oh, viewed through the lens of it's a horror game, it makes a lot more sense. You know, but like, it was a little disappointing if you like me, you enjoyed the gameplay of Doom 1 and Doom 2, where you had like just tons of monsters that you needed to mow down. Are you kidding me, Windows? Really? Yes, just go away. Garbage operating system. Alright. I'm gonna reload. Hopefully we're okay on performance here. But like I was hoping for like, I mean I was naive back then. But I was hoping for like you're more than like 2 or 3 enemies in a room, you know? But it was like everything is tanky. You only get 3 enemies. You can't see anything. It just it wasn't what I was expecting from a Doom game, having played and loved Doom 1 and Doom 2. So, oh, that is a lot of frames. That's a lot of frames. 160 frames? This is smooth as butter. What is with this? This machine has completely broken my expectations in all aspects. I wasn't expecting this in the slightest.
We have to contain this.
So it looks like we're capped down to 60 FPS during these cutscenes. I'm pretty sure. I don't think we were just doing 170. I don't think we're stuck at 60. I do appreciate the continuation of the visual style from Doom 3. With all the little displays. Of course, that's the thing that I think of, because I'm a nerd. I loved all the little displays in Doom 3. I don't know what he's saying. I can't hear any of this. There we go. I was like, I knew I'd grab it and like break it or throw it or something. Okay, let's continue. This is deliciously smooth. Is it? Oh, it's F. I figured it would be E. Okay. There we go. Give me my stuff. It's really disorienting. So you gotta really pay attention to like where you get snapped to with the camera view. Gimme. 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 That's more like it. Now it's a Doom game. We got a shotgun. Viscera. Cool, I can mantle. Awesome. That's a lot more than there were a minute ago. I gotta say, the arena design is terrific. I'm like not getting stuck on any geometry or like held back in any way. It's very good. Movement is great. They definitely got that part. 100%. And this runs fantastically. What the heck? 170 FPS? 180? Yeah, no, it's fine. Runs great. I don't know. This CPU has completely defied my expectations today. Completely defied my expectations. I guess I can understand why people would hang on to him. If it's still doing what you need it to do in 2024, why spend the money, you know? The fair. You bought this in 2011, 2012, you could still play some really decent games. Now, to be fair, we are using 60-70% of this RTX 3060, so yeah, you're not like getting the most out of your graphics card, but that really just means we could probably just up this to 4K and not really lose that many frames per second, honestly. Right? Let's go. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're down to like 93 FPS, but now we're running it at 4K. It looks great. Runs fine. Like, what the heck? 4K and a 3060. Now, obviously, like, I didn't bring out, like, The Last of Us, or, you know, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, or something like that. But, I don't know, I feel like those games are mostly benchmarks, more than anything else. Practically walking simulators. But we've got, like, good performance in some games that really want decent frame rates. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So to answer the question, how is Bulldozer doing in 2024? It turns out pretty okay. Somehow. Pretty okay. I don't know how it's doing okay, but it seems to be doing okay. Man, that's I don't get it. Oh. I suppose. Well, so Bruce says Doom 2016 was made to run on Bulldozer. PS4 and Xbox One used it. PS4 and Xbox One actually used something more akin to Kabini, the AMD's embedded APUs. They're more in common with like K10. They're the previous architecture from Bulldozer. But that's true. It is a very lightweight game as far as like game logic goes. But still, like, that's a terrific frame rate. Like, even in 2024, that's a terrific frame rate. I'm impressed. This 12-year-old CPU, keeping up with the best of them. So, I think that's going to be it for... Yeah, exactly. Raptor Ninja says Jaguar, if I remember. Yup, it was the big cats cores. Jaguar, Bobcat, what was the other one? Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, same idea. They were evolved from the K10 with a die shrink and some clock adjustments, and they were basically embedded CPUs. They're pretty good CPUs, honestly. But I think I'm I'm just taking a look at chat here. Yeah, Joanne says it's way better than I would have expected. It was way better than I was expecting. Not what I was thinking of. Bruce Lee says, I looked at the requirements for Little Kitty Big City. What the heck is a Radeon 7510? I don't know. There's a couple of games out there that are just like, where did you get this list of GPUs? What? Oh, amazing. All right, so I think I'm going to wrap it up then. We are just over 2 hours. Thanks everybody for coming, and I certainly had an enlightening evening. I had no idea this was going to perform as well as it did, and I'm surprised and impressed. It sounds like Bruce is streaming, so I guess go watch Bruce's stream. And thanks so much for sticking around. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next week, hey? Until then, may the PC parts be ever in your favor. I really gotta cue these up before I say that. Have a great night.